I have your notifications
And we're
on.
live. What?
It gets a notification.
Oh, awesome. Okay, make sure that's closed.
Awesome. Oh.
Mute. Okay.
Yep, I had to do that too.
Oh, that was you. Okay. I'm like,
Okay.
I'm so excited for this.
Are you? Okay, so what did you think about it?
I still stand by I think I prefer the Raven Boys better. What?
Me too.
Yeah.
Would you rate it?
I think I rated it. I was between a 4 and a 5. I couldn't decide. I rated a 4.5, and I can't decide if I want to give it a 4 or a 5. I think I gave it a 5 on Goodreads, but I'm torn between 4 and 5.
I'm between a 3.5 and a 4.
Okay.
And you'll be very pleased because Adam was on my nerves in this book, and I was like, I wanted to like him so bad. I was like, he needs a defender, and he is not my fave now.
Yeah. I think that's why because well, he grows on you. Adam
I
is
liked him better in the first book than I did in this one.
the Raven King. He has great redemption.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed that I didn't like this book as much as I loved the first one.
No.
Because the first one was so good. And I'm like, where is Gansey? Where is Blue? Like, I need my babies, and they're hardly in this book. And I was very not okay with it.
Yeah.
Haley, what did you end up rating it?
Let's see. She liked it more the first time.
Yeah.
I think I rated it a 4 the first time I read it. So I don't know. I can't decide if I want to keep it as a 4 or if I'm gonna keep it as a 5. I don't know. Maybe I'll decide after this live show.
I still rated it a 4 on Goodreads, but I think if I was rating this book as it is versus going along with the series,
Uh-oh.
Ignore that. It's fine. I think if I was rating this as a standalone versus like with a series, that it would have been lower. But I think because it's with the rest of the series, it got the boost to 4 versus 3.5.
Mm. Okay. Haley rated it 4 out of 5 stars.
Okay. So this book felt so much different than the Raven Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the whole feel of it was completely different for me, and like the focus of it. And so I felt like the first book had such juggle with it better. Like they juggled the topics, they juggled the different plot lines. This one was very heavy on Ronan, which isn't a bad thing. I don't dislike Ronan, but it turned the entire book all about the dream world.
The Grey Worm.
Yeah, we lost that entire other plot lines that we were dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, like they barely talk about Glendower.
Yeah. And we do talk about the ley lines, so it's still in the mix of things in Cave's Water, but it definitely didn't get the balance that the other, like the first book had for me.
Agree.
So it definitely got points deducted for that. And it got deducted for not having enough Gansey in it, because I think Gansey is probably my favorite character.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely.
I think it's hard to have this book and not have a super likable protagonist to make it a stronger book.
What do you mean?
Because Ronan is grittier, and we did get to see him have such character development in this book, so we got to see him be a little bit more likable because we got to see him care about other characters in this book, and I think that made him more likable. But
Mhm.
Gansey just oozes that
Sincerity.
likableness. Yeah, and you're able to relate with the character and you instantly like him and you want to root for him.
Yeah.
But Ronan doesn't have that, so having a book strictly on Ronan is a little bit hard because it's like you're not that as invested as if it would be Gansey.
Right, because he's like rough around the edges and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, okay, let's talk about Adam really quick.
Okay.
So now, do you agree with me where you think that like Adam, I don't know what his deal is with Gansey. Like, I don't know why he's his friend because Gansey sincerely cares about him and all of his friends. And Adam just thinks of the way Adam thinks about Gansey. I'd be like, if that's how you think of me, why are you my friend? Like, if you think I want to own you, and if you think that I don't care about you, and if you think I'm your friend just to make myself better, why are you my friend? Like, why do you hang out with me? You know? Because that's not like Gansey sincerely cares about Adam and really, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think because Gansey cares so much, he's more understanding. So he would never be in that position to be like, why? Like, he would never take that defensive stance with
Yeah.
Adam.
No, I agree. I agree. But like, I guess I just don't see it's just I mean, like I said, Adam does get some redemption. So, but right now, I'm just like, why does he hang out with these? He doesn't seem to like them.
Yeah.
When you read Adam's perspective, it's like he doesn't seem to like any of them.
Because I think this is going to get like real meta here. But maybe Adam is constantly looking at Gansey and being like, you are only being friends with me to make yourself feel better and things like that, because Adam is only friends with these people so he can get out. So maybe he's putting his self-image on them to
Yeah,
console himself
he's just
of, this
insecure.
is okay. I'm treating them like my meal ticket out of here because they're using me as well. And maybe that's how he's accepting it in his brain, that he's treating these people like this, if he thinks that they have it coming because they're treating him like that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think that's like the only way that it would be. That's the only way that makes sense to me.
Yeah,
Because he doesn't act like he likes them at all.
that's what I'm saying. Granted, at the end, he like really he cares about Ronan, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like we saw that at the end in the of the Raven Boys where he finally spoke up and because Ronan was getting arrested. So he finally
Yeah.
but yeah, like that plot line of like pressing charges, that's not in this book.
At all. It's just gone.
I mean it comes back into play. It does.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not like a plot hole or anything. It definitely comes back into play. It's just, it's not. I agree with what you're saying. Like, this book kind of dropped everything and then, like, kind of expanded on just one thing. And then
Yeah.
once in Blue Lily Blue, we're going to see it expand even more with, like, everything that was from the Raven Boys.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not over. It's just.
And maybe like Adam doesn't know how to accept the care that this group gives him,
That's true.
and because he's never had that, so maybe it's him rebelling against something because he doesn't know what good feels like. He's not healthy enough or
Yeah.
been in a healthy relationship to know what good feels like, but he also stays because it does feel good, type of
Yeah.
thing.
For sure. And Haley, that's interesting. She says that she thinks it felt like a filler book. I agree. The Dream Thieves is my least favorite in the series.
Well, that's good.
Um,
Like, this is the lowest it's gonna go.
yeah, the Raven King is my favorite. And then the Raven Boys. And then Blue Lily Blue, and then the Dream Thieves. I also, so I like I don't know. Oh, my reading vlog's not up, but basically last Saturday I had to read both the Raven I had to read both the Dream Thieves and What If It's Us?
Oh.
So I kind of I listened to the audiobook and I think maybe the audiobook it's not good. Let's just throw that
No.
out there. It's not a good audiobook.
So
But
I listened to it too, and I
yeah,
agree. The audiobook is not great.
it's not good. So I think maybe I would enjoy it more if I hadn't listened to the audiobook.
I will say I really do like what's the asshole's name that like is the other Grey Warden? Yeah,
Joseph
I do like his voice in the audiobook though, just because it's so distinctly different than everything else, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Like it's so southern.
Yeah. I just thought of something. Isn't that the last name of Peter in
Yes.
Lord Jeans?
Well, it's Kravinsky, I think. Not Kavinsky. I think this is Kavinsky, and it's Peter Kravinsky
Oh
in To
my
All the
God.
Boys. But pretty dang close.
Yeah, very close. Very close. Is it Joseph? It's Joseph, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm looking it
He
up.
was an asshole.
Yeah, he really was. And like I don't understand why. Like it doesn't even explain why. No,
There's not
Kavinsky.
character. Are they both Kavinsky? Really?
It's Kavinsky.
How has no one made this connection before and like called this out? Yeah. Kavinsky.
Yeah, they're both Kavinsky.
Oh my god.
Which book came first?
They're cousins. They're cousins across books.
Which one came first?
That's pretty funny. I would imagine this probably came first, right?
Let's see. Okay, To All the Boys I've Loved Before was published in 2014.
This is 2013.
Jenny Han.
That's so random though. Like,
she would have already started writing her book if it's a year difference. Yeah. But that's crazy. Like, what a weird last name to have.
That's doubled, yeah.
Yeah,
that's so weird. What?
Yeah, he was such. So that's actually a plot where I don't remember Joseph Kavinsky. I don't know how he is a Grey Warden. Grey Warden, yeah. I don't remember that plot. So it's interesting where that where that comes from. Like, where do they get their powers, you know?
Right? Is it by bloodline? Like, and they even kind of address it because he's like, how are you? Is your dad a Grey Warden?
Yeah.
And so he turns the question around and says, well, is your dad? And they just drop the conversation. And it's like, what? Like, that's it. Like, they address it, but it doesn't actually, like, go anywhere with that. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. What did you think of the Gray Man?
He is entertaining. Excuse my cat and his tail.
Okay.
He was entertaining. I liked him as a character. I liked him better than Kavinsky.
Yeah. I think the Gray Man is a very interesting, obscure character, very morally. I like Gray, obviously the Gray Man, he's morally gray. He's a hitman, but he also like really starts to care for Mora and the boys.
I have theories.
Yes, what's your theory?
Because I haven't read the books. I have theories. And I mentioned this in my reading blog. So my theories are that the Gray Man is from, like, the fact that he doesn't have a name, and, like, I think he's also from the dream world. I also think, I don't know if I mentioned this last time, I think that Mora, like, Blue's dad, is stuck in the dream world as well. And I was trying to, I'm looking for so much more stuff, I think, in this book than there actually is. I'm trying to pull more out of this. I think, like, there's something going on with the dad and the Gray Man, like Ronan's dad, and I also wondered like if there was some connection between like that maybe them being brothers, and then because he talks about like him killing his brother, right? The Gray Man at the end.
Yes. Yeah, he does.
So I was wondering like maybe the Gray Man is like Ronan in a different time, like the Ronan came back, it's like out of the dream world and he's a different person. I don't know.
Yeah, because there is a
I have
little bit of like time difference in this one.
Yeah, so I have all these different theories about the Gray Man, but he made me think, and I appreciated
Yeah.
that.
Do you want me to tell you if you're right or wrong? No?
No,
No? Okay.
but I think the Gray Man is a lot more important to everything. I
Yeah,
think he's got a bigger story that we don't know.
he definitely
I
does.
think he's an iceberg.
Yeah, he definitely does. Um,
I will say that I think the Kaminsky plot was I didn't like it.
it was just so
Like
weird.
we got no character development from him. He was
Mm-mm.
very one dimensional. He was only was he even introduced in the first book?
No.
So he introduced and died in this book,
No, he was in the first one.
but barely.
Barely. Like they briefly mention him. Briefly. Because I remember yeah, they're like in the courtyard at school one day
Yeah.
and he like comes over to them or something.
So like he played such a big role in this book for some random character, and I didn't like that.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. And like what he did with Matthew at the end, like what the hell?
Yeah, yeah. So I did like that we got to see Ronan be a little bit more compassionate with his brothers, and we got to
Yeah.
see that like character development and that family dynamic develop, and we got to learn more about the ley lines and magic, obviously, in this. Um, but I don't. It just didn't feel like a full story, and maybe that's why you guys think it's like a filler book, is it doesn't feel like a full story because we had so many different plot lines in the first one.
It's just
But it's like it doesn't make it wasn't fully fleshed out for me.
no, I agree. And there were a lot of like questions where I was just like, I remember this book was the most confusing one for me because I was like, what in the world is going on? Because like Cabe's water disappears, but then it comes back. And
So
okay,
confused.
so like there are so many things, like there's so much that I've forgotten. But I can't remember like who created Cabe's water.
Does someone create it? I thought it was just there because the ley lines were there.
Okay, see, I thought so because see, Ronan wrote in the trees.
Yes.
But then, and then when Ronan dreams, he dreams in Cabe's water.
Yes. Because it's a magical place.
Okay.
So maybe
I forgot
Ronan
a lot of it.
created it like in the future and now they're in the past. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so
see,
maybe Ronan did, but we haven't gotten to that part where Ronan actually created it.
yeah, rereading this book, I get the feeling that Ronan created Cabe's water.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Okay. I
Like he
honestly
pulled it
don't.
out of his dreams or something, like later down the line, like in the future, now they're in the past.
Right.
I
Because
hate time travel.
well, see, and that's funny because I don't think there is a lot of time travel. I don't think. Not like what you're thinking. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember.
Yeah.
So there could be. I don't remember. See, like I don't even remember like where Cabe's water came from, and that's like a huge point in the story. But I do remember because who was it? Calla said that your mom. So Cabe's water is a dream. So they have to bring. So his mom was brought out of a dream, so she needs to be put back into a dream to
Yes.
wake up. So somebody dreamt Cabe's water.
No.
No,
What? So Ronan's mom is from a dream,
correct.
and she just has to be put back through a dream.
I thought she
And
had to
he's
go back in a dream.
Well, so they bring her to Caves Water because he's dreamt of Caves Water. So he's like, it's a magical place. Like I don't have to be confirmed about that it's a magical place because I've dreamt of it. I know this is where.
Oh,
So that's
interesting.
how I took it, anyways. I didn't take it as the place was a dream that was pulled out, although that makes sense.
I see. I took it as that. I took it as Ronan literally dreamt because the trees speak Latin and Ronan's dreams are in Latin.
Yeah.
So I took it as Ronan literally dreamt Cape's water, and then that's why he was able to put his
Pulled it
mom.
out,
What?
and then somehow pulled the dream, like Caves Water, out of his dream.
I guess.
There's something that you're not telling me.
No, I don't remember. I don't remember. I really don't.
I guess that makes sense, though.
I'm glad that we're. What does Trevor think?
So he, hey Trevor, he's playing games right now. I'll have him over
Okay.
here. I was talking to him about like how Cave's water went away because I didn't understand that.
Yeah,
and
see, either.
So he was like, so Adam didn't hold up his bargain because remember he made that bargain with Cave's water to protect it, and he said he wasn't holding up his end of the deal, so he wasn't protecting it. And then Kavinsky, every time he was pulling things out of the dream, it was draining Cave's water.
So like maybe Cave's water is like the heart.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so if in theory Cave's water is from Ronan's dream and it's connected to Ronan, how is Kavinsky pulling from Cave's water?
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't think about that. You're right. So then I
think it's just like a magicalness that is connected to Cave's water.
Yeah.
That shares that same, like, it's like blood. Like everybody has blood, but we don't have the same blood. Correct. I think that's the same thing. It's the magical essence of Cave's water.
It's like this source of energy.
Yes, but it's not. Everybody doesn't have access.
Interesting. I wonder if like all the ley lines connect to it.
Oh, maybe. That would be cool.
Yeah, it would be. Like I said, it's been so long. Like I read these when they first were released, so it's been a while since I've read them. What was Adam's like? What was he supposed to do? Like, what was his bargain to like protect?
That's what I was trying to figure out, and we couldn't remember either.
Was it just like protecting like things getting taken out of the dream?
I know it was Cave's water in specific. He was protecting Cave's water, and he wasn't upholding the deal.
Maybe
because it was at the end of the last book. And I remember him making a deal, but I don't remember what was the
sacrifice.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and then he like woke it back up, and that's another thing. This is what I don't understand. Literally, Adam woke up the ley lines at the end of the Raven Boys, but then he re-woke them up at the end of the Dream Thieves. I thought they were already awake.
What do you mean he re-woke them up at the end of Dream Thieves?
Well, at the end of Dream Thieves, he like gets Cave's water to like re-pop up. He like looks for it. Right? He's like because like the gray man says how his instruments are going crazy because of like this surge of energy, and so they're like, he says now if people come in to Henrietta, they're not going to be able to find Ronan because like Henrietta itself is like a huge energy.
Yeah, it's not just
Ronan. Yeah, it's giving off exactly, and I thought it's because the ley lines woke up again.
Oh.
Or was it because he woke up Cave's water?
I would imagine Cave's water would be putting off all of that energy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because he did say at one point, like, he can feel the ley line.
Yeah.
He's with Persephone, and she's like, tells him to, like, pay attention. He can, like, feel the energy beneath the ground.
I wonder if Kavinsky dying also strengthens. Because he's not pulling that energy from it anymore. And I don't know if it's like a
time.
yeah, I don't know if it's like a constant act of, because I know he drained it, but I don't know if he was constantly draining it by like just doing what he was doing, or you know what I mean? Like if he dies, does that energy not pull from Cave's water anymore? Was it a constant pull? Was it a one-time pull when he was pulling things out? Like I wonder if it's if that had any effect on the ley lines and energy fear.
That's a good thought. I don't know. I honestly don't remember. There's just so much going on in this story that I forgot a lot of it.
And it's just not as fleshed out as the first book. It's not as well explained, so it's hard to.
It's more confusing.
Yeah.
But yes, I agree. It's not, because when you have a magic system this unique, it's hard to, you have to really explain what's going on.
Yeah. And we definitely missed a bit of that.
Yeah. I
what I was a little disappointed about not getting more interaction with the older brother.
Declan?
Yeah. Because I thought there was going to be a little more character development with the older brother, and we didn't get, I mean, we got more interaction with both of the brothers, but we didn't get really any backstory. Like, we don't know motivations and what is driving those characters and things like that.
Because obviously Declan knows what Ronan is and his dad. Yeah. So that means people were after them. So it's interesting. Yeah, I wonder if it's going to show back up in Blue Lily Blue.
Yeah, and like
I feel like it has
been dealing with it, and like he obviously knew, like, because didn't Declan warn Ronan to stay away from Kavinsky? But I just thought that was because of the drag racing, but maybe he knew that Kavinsky was also a Grey Warren.
Yeah.
So like he had known all of this knowledge and known about Ronan and knew that Ronan was one of them, but never told his brother.
Yeah, the secret stuff is like driving me insane.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I like that at the end of it, we got to see Ronan rewrite the will.
I love that.
And I like that we kind of got the connection with his dad of being like giving him hints of how to, that he like basically left like a back door open for him if he could figure it out type of thing. And I like that there was like kind of like that puzzle part of it.
Yeah. I do too. I like that a lot. Then there's the puzzle box, and then I guess we still don't know what the last language is.
Yeah. What the hell is with the puzzle box? Everybody's after the puzzle box, but I don't know what. Do we find out later? Am I not supposed to know yet?
I don't think you're supposed to know yet.
Okay.
Everyone thinks the puzzle box is the Grey Warren, but it's not.
What?
Right?
Like that's the thing that's controlling the
Grey Warren is a thing.
Yeah.
It's got like, yeah, I honestly don't remember, but I do know it comes back into play.
Okay.
We do find, I can't even remember what that secret language is, but it does come back into play. Okay.
I like that we got to see Mora kind of like trick the Grey Man and like kind of like use her womanly powers to be like, look the other way type of thing. I like that part a lot.
I love that. She's like, oh, Mr. Grey, I would have called you, but you know. That's, yeah, I love that. I think that's really funny. What do we think of Blue and Gansey?
Finally, like I knew it was building up to this, so I was like, why is she with Adam? Like that doesn't make any sense. So like I knew they were OTP, but I'm like, finally.
I know. And like, but that's like the one good, that's one thing that I like about this book or like this series is just, it's so friendship based. It's like, it's interesting because like that one scene with them on the mountain and Gansey and Blue just like staring at each other, you know, and just being like, that scene was like more intimate than like some other scenes that I've read.
Yeah.
Like other books, you know?
When So a whole thing around Blue and her kissing. So her making out with Noah was like weird AF, and I did not like that.
No.
I was like listening to that, and I was like, "What is happening? Like, why are we doing this?" It felt so weird to me, and I did
Well, she
not like
wanted,
that.
yeah, I mean, she was curious. She wanted to know what it's, I mean,
Ghost.
what?
He's a ghost, right?
Yeah,
That's so weird.
it is.
All I could imagine was Wendy and Casper making out, and I was like, "What is happening?"
I was just gonna say that.
I could not deal with that. I was like, that's too weird for me. Like, that was too weird. Um, Also, like, when Adam and Blue break up, and he's like, well, they kissed me if you're so sure it's not me. Like, I was already disliking Adam, but that broke my heart for
Me
him. And I
too.
was like, oh, like, I can't, it's like, damn. Like, I would not be able to be in that position.
Like, it made you mad he said that, or it was like sad?
I felt so bad for Adam for like the desperation that you felt there, and for
Oh.
Blue being like, "Well, I'm not positive, but I don't want to get like lead you on even more." Like both of them, I felt so bad for both of them.
Yeah. But
Ugh.
then I also was like, I kind of, I didn't like how he was like, prove it, like, kiss me anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I totally. I that part made me mad because I was really like, she's allowed to say no. I did not like that we got the peer pressure, and that really pissed me off. I couldn't remember if that was in this book or if it was in the last book, that he was so focused on
It's
getting
this
that
one.
kiss that it wasn't, even when she said no, he still pushed her, and I hated that. Like,
Yeah.
he majorly lost points for me because of that. Like, she
Yeah.
is allowed, regardless of your relationship with her, she's allowed to dictate whether she wants to be physical with you or not. And I just was like, the fact that he was like still pushing her, like, pissed me off to no end.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know. I know. And then there's Gansey who's like super, super, super understanding.
Yep. But then
Like,
he also knew, like,
true, but
but
like,
I also don't think he would have reacted that way even if he didn't know. If the
no,
roles were reversed, he would never have acted like
no,
that.
he never, no. And it's in this one because they're in his apartment. Because
Yeah.
remember, in the Raven Boys, he still lives with his parents, but in this one, he's in his apartment and he tries to kiss her and she says no. And that's when he like starts kicking things and he like
Oh,
treats her like shit. And
yeah.
then she's like, you be careful now. I will not let you talk to me like that. And then
I
she's like,
loved
no,
it.
I'm going to go sit outside. And if you want to come apologize, I will be out there. And he never went out.
But I'm so glad that that's such a good like way to demonstrate unhealthy relationships and how to navigate it healthily.
Yes.
Healthily? I don't know the word. So I love that we got to see how bad people can treat you and how to then respond, because I think oftentimes we tell people don't be in these unhealthy relationships, get out, but they don't ever tell you how to handle it,
Mhm.
what to do, what to say. It just says don't do this. And I don't think we have enough things in media and in for consumption to show you how to healthily navigate those situations.
Yeah.
You know. So I really, really loved seeing that.
Yeah. Blue is just I can't decide who's my favorite, Gansey or Blue. I adore Blue. I love it. Like, and her relationship with Mora, and like they're in bed, and she's crying, and she's like just a little. I don't know. I love Blue. She's so great. I Blue Lily Lily Blue is huge on. That's like her book,
Nice.
and Gansey, her and
I
Gansey. It's their
oh,
book.
that might be my favorite then. Because I like really I didn't realize how much I liked Gansey until the absence of Gansey
Mhm.
in this one, and I was like, where is he?
Yeah,
I
because
was
now they're
very
searching for her
distraught.
mom.
So I really liked, speaking on Adam's apartment, I really liked we got to see Ronan do that act of kindness for him, and that was kind of like a sneaky thing that like we wouldn't be expecting from Ronan. So I really liked that.
I loved
Uh,
it.
I also didn't think it made a lot of sense that at the end of the book they were talking about how to um, get Adam a car. Like they were all concocting how to get him a car and to get him to accept a car. And then they're talking about like, oh, like take this junker off my hands so I don't have to tow it for me. Like, do me a solid. And I really, with how defensive Adam is, really would have thought Adam been like, hell no. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think he would have been that stupid to have accepted that.
I
And so that didn't make sense to me.
I thought it was a plot hole as well. I agree because like literally Adam takes nothing that
Yeah.
he didn't earn. I'm so shocked he actually took the car, and I'm shocked that he wasn't like, why does she have this piece of shit?
Right? Yeah, it
Like,
doesn't
literally
make sense.
drives a helicopter.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, if he's willing to take a car, like, why wouldn't he be willing to move in with this place where other people are staying? It's not like Ganzi's living alone. He's like, come live with me.
I
He's
know.
got all of his friends.
It.
Yeah, all of his friends are being supported by him. And it's like, what?
I don't understand why he doesn't move into Monmouth. I don't get it. Like, it doesn't make sense.
I guess, like, he doesn't have to see them every time he uses the car, but he would have to see them every time he lives in that place. And if he is using his way to get out of it, then
yeah,
he doesn't feel guilty.
I guess. Yeah. Okay, so when we talked about in the Raven Boys, you said something about Ronan.
Mm-hmm.
Did we mention that?
About what part? About Ronan being gay?
Okay, there we go. Okay. I didn't catch on that in this book. I was like waiting for it.
It's at the very end when he's fighting with Kavinsky. Yeah, because Kavinsky makes all of those jabs about him and Gansey and him like always being with Gansey, and pretty much like he hints at them being together. And at the very end, it's within the last hour of the book. So like within the last like 3 chapters, I think it's in like chapter 60 or 61, they are fighting, and Kavinsky's like, I told you you're either with me or against me. And he was talking about like, oh, like you're with Gansey, and he's like, that's even like how he's like, no, it's not Gansey here. And then he's like, oh, but you never denied that you were. And he's like, no, I didn't. And he's like, that's even worse. And he's like trying to make him feel bad about it. And they don't make a big deal out of it. He's not like a big moment where he's coming out. He's just like, yeah, I am. What of it? And then like moves on.
Okay. I know at one point Kavinsky calls him, I think it's not an okay word. It starts with an F.
Yeah, because Kavinsky kind of like dogs on him, and it's like a point of like trying to make fun of him, and he like just doesn't like let it be something like that.
Yeah, he definitely calls him a slur, like a terrible slur for gay people in the book. And so I wasn't sure if he meant it because Ronan's gay, or if he meant it as like
actually as a gay slur, or
like
just like
or like, you know, people saying that word.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like looking throughout the entire book, and I'm like, I couldn't catch on that. Like I could not catch on Ronan being gay.
Now I'm trying to find it.
That's fine. Like you said, it's probably like so much is happening in that scene. I might just have to go back and reread it.
But I remember that because I was like waiting for it too, and
it must have been something I missed because you and Trevor picked up on it.
Yes, yeah, because he talked about it that it happened in this one.
Now Trevor liked this one better than. Okay, so Haley's saying the exact same thing. Blue's amazing, yes. And then she says she didn't pick up on this either about Ronan. I'm like, I didn't pick up on it either.
Oh my god, now I need to find it.
Go for it. Find it. Because I really want to know. I want to see this. I want to read this.
Okay. So it's on page 410.
Okay.
And it's when he's talking to Kavinsky, it says there's a heavy oh hold on. The branches shook over them both. Thunder grumbled and smashed, close and real, real, real. You don't have to do this, Ronan said. There isn't anything else, man. There's reality. Kavinsky laughed the word reality. Reality is what other people dream for you. Reality is where other people are, Ronan replied. He stretched out his arms. Where's here, Kay? Nothing, no one. Just us. There was a heavy understanding in the sentence, amplified by the dream. I know what you are, Kavinsky had said. That's not enough. Don't say Dick Gansey, man. Do not say it. He is never going to be with you. And don't tell me you don't swing that way. Man, I'm in your head. That's not what Gansey is to me, Ronan said. You didn't say you didn't swing that way. Ronan was silent. Thunder growled under his feet. No, I didn't. That makes it worse, man. You really are just his lapdog. So he thinks that he's in love with Gansey. And he's like, no, it's not Gansey.
Ah, okay,
So
I totally missed that.
I'm thinking that probably Kavinsky is gay. And he was like, you're either with me or against me. And he wanted him to be with him as in romantically.
Oh.
And he's like, no, I'd rather be against you.
Interesting. Rereads, man, rereads. No, seriously, I never. Okay, yeah, that's 100. Yeah, you swing that way. That's definitely talking about a sexuality.
Yeah.
That's good. Interesting. By the way, you read that like way better than the audiobook.
It also said, Ronan said, life isn't just sex and drugs and cars, because it goes on to talking about like what he thought his life was going to be with Gansey.
That is true. I like this book because I like the message.
Yeah.
It's so heavy on friendship and like just such the real this book is very plot driven, but it's also extremely character driven. Just like all the different relationships. You've got Mora and then her best friends, and they all live together, and then Mora and her daughter, and then her daughter, and like they're pretty much her aunts. And then you've got Blue with all the boys. She has like different relationships. Like Noah's more of like a big brother to her. Like
really,
Noah,
I always thought like Noah was the little brother because she's like protective of him.
that's what I meant. Like more of a brother. Like Noah and Blue are more like siblings, and then Adam is kind of like, I guess, like the one that's gonna cause. It's just like the relationships are just so interesting.
Yeah, and very like real.
Yeah.
Like there's so much different sides to each relationship that it makes it feel so real because there is so many different complications. It's not just like an easy one-dimensional relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I forget, are you more of a plot reader or a character?
I'm more character driven.
Okay.
Which you think that would mean that I would like this one better but we're one character in this pushing the plot along, which I appreciate, but there are so many underdeveloped characters that we were already introduced to that it killed it for me in a sense because it was character driven, but it was also not character driven with the rest of the characters. It was just character driven by one character. So it's like if this was like the first book in the series, it would be different because we weren't already introduced to all the other plot lines, and we wouldn't have felt that drop out of them not pulling in the rest of the plot lines with it and supporting the characters how they were supported in the first book. Yeah. So I think this is kind of the crappy second book syndrome type of book. But if it was written as a first book, I think it would have been, you could perceive it a lot better if you didn't have prior knowledge.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, yeah, for sure. And I'm like wondering, it would have been like a good novella-ish, like a side book.
Yeah.
But it's still in the series. I'm trying to think of like Tower of Dawn with Sarah J. Maas. Like it was supposed to be a novella and then it ended up being like a 700-page book. But
you need that book to like understand the rest of the characters.
And I mean, I get you do need the Raven, like you do need the Dream Thieves. Like it definitely explained more about Ronan. But I can't remember. But I do know that a lot happens in Blue Lily, Lily Blue.
I wish this might be pulling too much of a stretch because we would have been taking like a 400-some page book and really dropping it down. But I think it would have been interesting if this would have been a
trilogy.
No, if this book was like how Caves Water worked and the Grey Warren, that turned into a fairy tale that Ronan's family tells each generation, and they were telling Matthew, and that's how the story is introduced. Is it's something that is passed down in their line, and we got to learn about the stories, but then we could later make connections that Ronan is actually one of the characters in the story. But it's I don't know, that might be trimming it down too much, but I think that would have been an interesting way to introduce what information we needed to do without it being too out of place.
That would have been so good. So good. But yeah.
But then we wouldn't, I don't know, it would be hard because that would be placed in the middle of a different story. I don't know.
Yeah. I do remember that, yeah, the Dream Thieves just didn't really stick with me as much as the other two.
Yeah. But I'm excited to continue on for Blue Lily Lily Blue.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think maybe Trevor may have hyped it for you. Do you think?
I don't know. I think I was hyping it so much because I loved The Raven Boys so much when I first read it, and then I reread it this time around, and I loved it just as much, so I was expecting the rest of the series to be that good.
Yeah. It was just a lot of information thrown at you, but
after
not a lot. I'm sorry?
A lot of information got thrown at you after you had already had to take in all the information from the first book to build the world.
It was a little bit like
so dumpy.
It was a little bit like sensory overload for this book with for just one spot in the story.
This I can see this being a great movie. The Dream Thieves. Because of all the magic. Have you ever seen the book? I think it's called The Covenant.
I've heard of it, but no, I have not seen it.
Let me pull it. This entire storyline is very okay. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah. This is what the movie looks like.
Yeah, I've seen that.
This movie is basically like the entire magic system in here.
Seriously?
Well, I mean, like in the movie, they have these like balls of light. You can see them throwing in this thing. And that like drains themselves and it drains their life force. So instead of it being like a magical thing that you're draining, in the movie, it's their life force. So every time you use your magic, you age. So they're not as pretty. And so it's like, that is also like something that's pulling, like that's the cost of the magic being used. And it's like in the same type of kind of like foresty setting. And there's like these night terror type of things out there too. And yeah.
Which I think I loved that scene.
Yeah, I agree. Those are really cool scenes. Very predictable though. And I expect more things to be pulled out of the dreams. Like, I'm still convinced. I don't know if I mentioned this last time. Maybe not, because I think it happened in this.
Ronan's turning into a bird.
That too. But I think that Ronan is going to pull out that girl out of the dream. I think he's pulling her out. That could be his sister. It could be his sister. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
Good theories. Those are all really good theories. I will just say this one thing.
Okay.
You have gotten one theory correct. I'm not going to say which one.
But I have a lot.
I'm not going to say you might have gotten all of them correct. You might have gotten none of them correct. Well, no. I'm saying at least one. Or one is correct.
But she could be his... Because his sister or his mom's from the dream world, so that could totally be his sister. And she says, like, "Take me away from here, please take me away from here." She like says that over and over to him. So I think he's gonna crack and pull her out. But yeah, I didn't think about that being his sister until just now. I totally think that's an option.
Interesting. Okay. I'm not gonna tell you. But
I know this is gonna kill me.
but I'm gonna say you do have one, like, and because you've been saying theories for a little while.
A one.
What?
Like this book, like I think I always try to pull more things out of this book, I think, than there actually is, because I just there's too many
No. There's one. You got one, like you nailed one. I'm not gonna tell you which one. You'll find out in Blue Lily Lily Blue.
Okay. I've got so many different theories that I've got. That's too hard to narrow down.
Yeah. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard because like I've read it, but there's so much that I forgot. Like I guess I forgot like all the technicalities like of Cabe's water. Like I completely forgot like where did it come from? Who dreamt it? Is it a dream? Is it the power? Like I don't remember any of that. I'm soaking, yeah. I do remember the relationships though, obviously. Like who gets shipped in the end.
Yeah, so I already know that like two characters that aren't together right now are going to be together later.
Did you get spoiled?
What?
Did you get spoiled?
Just because people talk about it, like not like plot lines, but just like in OTP reference.
Text me
together. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I already texted you last time we did this live show, and you're like, I don't remember that. But it's the same. I'm pretty sure it's the same.
I'm so curious.
So I already like know that's gonna happen because I've seen like references to them being together.
Okay.
So I know that's gonna happen, but I'm like, how is that gonna? I don't know how that's gonna play out. Also, I might have accidentally spoiled Trevor for that because I thought it had happened in this book, so I talked about it. And he's like, "What?" I was like, "Damn." So he already knows now too, and so we're like, how is that going to transition? That character is going to transition to be with that character. So that's interesting.
I don't know, actually. That's okay. I'm not going to say anything.
So, is there anything else that you want to touch on before we close out?
I think we talked about everything. We discussed Adam a little bit. We discussed obviously Ronan.
Yes.
Can I just go back to the audiobook? Like Ronan's voice is so freaking annoying.
Oh, how raspy it is. It's so bad.
And Persephone.
Yep. Yes. 0 out of 10 do not recommend the audiobook. It's not good.
Calla's bad too. Calla sounds like she's a smoker. It's so bad. I'm really gonna try and read Blue Lily Lily Blue. I'm gonna read it. Oh, do we want to say what our book is for March?
This is gonna be our regular Muggle Studies book club pick. We forgot to mention it on our last live show, but it's gonna be Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. Trevor's very, very excited for this one. And obviously Blue Lily Lily Blue will be our next one as well. That one is going to be on April 6th, which is Dewey's 24-hour readathon. So make sure you guys are staying tuned for that. And it's going to be very exciting because Gabby's going to visit me for my birthday. So we are actually going to be in the same place for the live show.
Yay! Surprise!
So we're really excited. I've been craving for space books, and I am hoping that this is going to time me over until Aurora Rising comes out, because that's the one that I've been dying to read.
I know, me too. Oh my god. If we can have another
Illuminate.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But yes, Skyward. Now, you don't have to have read Mistborn, correct?
Correct. This is completely separate series.
Yay, Haley.
Yes.
Yeah. We're so excited.
We're going to be talking about this and Blue Lily Lily Blue. May's book is going to be Aurora Rising, which is the new J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman book.
When does that one come out?
May 8th.
Okay, yeah. We can definitely do it for May.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, and then that one will obviously be the Raven Kings for Raven King for the last book, so that'll be a really good month for May. And then we're doing Lee Bardugo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So we've got a lot of our books already planned out. So if you guys want to join us, make sure we are pretty set on doing them Saturday nights. We're around this time. Usually we're doing it at 6 p.m., but if 7 works better for you guys, you can do it at 7. But this is pretty set because of work schedules and such.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I can go back to original time. Because we're out of town, obviously this weekend. I just had to push it back an hour, but I can go back to being at like 8 my time, 6 your time, for all the other Saturdays. Well, the 6th won't matter, the next one, because I'll be at your time zone.
yeah. All right, so that's gonna be
really quick. I've also updated the Goodreads page. I had a few people like message me that the Goodreads was not up to date, so I'm very sorry. So I update it, and then I created a page, a discussion with all the books that we're going to be reading for the year.
Cool. So stay tuned on there and on our Twitters for what did live show times. But April 6th will be our next live show.
Yes.
Cool.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you in a month.
Bye.